Hi, we're with the director of the Tate Gallery and we're about to interview him about all the different things he's been part of and our school.
Okay, let's start off with some questions.
Okay.
So how has Tate became such a big and well-known name over the last few decades?
I think it's because we are showing and collecting some of the best art made anywhere in the world. Some of it's British art, some of it's international art. And I think people have got really excited about art in the last 2 or 3 decades. And we've grown, and we're an important part of London, but we're also an important part of the whole of the United Kingdom because we make shows that travel all over the country.
Okay.
So what do you love about art?
I think I love being surprised by art. Every time I see something, I go in a studio and I see something I've never seen in my life before, and I think, what is that? And how does it, what do I feel about it? What do I think about it? And how does it change my life seeing it? So it's always surprising and it's always changing. What excites you about art? Come on.
I think just people's different perceptions, because you can have, like, a little kid might have a certain perception that it's a flower, but then an adult might think it's just an abstract piece of art.
Yeah.
So I think, like, using your imagination is,
Using your imagination is a pretty good description of education, isn't it? And why you're at school.
Do you have a favourite piece of art?
Actually, most days I go into the galleries at the Tate and I go and find a work which I really want to look at today. Mm-hmm. So it changes every day. Some days I'll go in there, I want to look at something like a Turner.
Yeah.
Or another day I'll go in and look at a David Hockney.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, Henry Moore or something of this kind. And so it changes all the time. I mean, that's the wonderful thing about art. Sometimes you want something which is really kind of aggressive or causes you to think. Sometimes you want something which is really quite comforting.
So what's your opinion on how we are taught art at our school?
Well, I think the exciting thing about this school is that in a way you're not taught art, you're encouraged to discover it for yourselves and to discover it within yourselves, and also you're encouraged to think about creativity and your imagination as being in a way the root of everything you do, rather than being something which is kind of added on at the end.
Yeah.
Most schools, you do what are called serious subjects, and then you do a bit of art on the side.
Yeah.
And this school has got art right at the centre.
Do you think that's important for people growing up in secondary school especially?
I think it's important for life.
Yeah.
And I think that traditionally it's been very important in primary schools, and then once people get to the age of 11 they're told they have to get serious and drop all these subjects and do proper subjects like English and maths and science. And I think it's great that there's a school now which is going to take art and performance and creativity at the centre and then build around that. Because you talk to really brilliant scientists, they're all passionate about the arts, actually. Well, not all, but many of them.
So what inspired you to be part of, like, an art company kind of thing?
When I was older than you, when I was about 15 or 16, I sort of found myself going and looking at pictures in galleries. I remember going to the Tate when I was about 15 and seeing, actually it was a David Hockney, and I got really excited by seeing this, and somehow it spoke to me, and so I started going more and more, and then I wanted to find out more, and it just sparked all my curiosity, really.
Do you feel like when